Hi there. Welcome to Tech Talk Weekly. I'm Bob from Creation Station. This is our weekly show where we talk about 2 to 3 interesting tech topics in the news, find you a fun library fact, and send you on your way in about 15-20 minutes. If you ever have a news story you want us to talk about, Creation Station at broward.org comes right to me, and we'll try to get it on the air for you. Today, my guest host is the wonderful Miss Autumn Deck. How are you, Autumn?
I am doing well. Just,
You for pinch hitting today.
yeah, no worries. Instead of sitting down there filling in for you, I'm up in my office
Filling in
today.
for
So
somebody
I'm
else.
filling
This
in
is
for
going to be
someone
awesome.
else.
It is a great, great thing. Thank you very much. For
Yeah,
those
no
who
worries.
haven't been paying attention to the show over the last couple of months, Autumn is the head of youth services here at Maine Library, and she has filled in for me as the host chair when I have been off on vacation. They let me off every once in a while.
You take up way too much. I'm just saying.
I seem to remember last time you saying something about not letting me back in the chair.
Yeah,
So
no, because it's my show now. So, you know, because I
we'll
get to do it
talk about.
again three
Yes, you
times in
will.
1 year, three
You'll be
times
doing it again later
at
on in the
least,
fall. This is a true story, we hope.
or
So
not, whatever.
it'll be great. It'll be great. Let's throw up the thing. We've got some fun stories today.
Fun.
Um,
Okay.
well, okay. So the first story is,
Your idea of fun is very
yeah, don't
weird.
panic. The sun's not going to really kill you. We don't think. And I'm like, this is not the way to to lead with your headline here.
No, yeah. No need to panic. Well, guess what?
Like, wait a
That
minute. Wait a
has the
minute. Wait a
exact
minute.
opposite effect. Oh my God.
So
Ah,
3 stories in like 4 days about how the sun's going to explode and kill us and wipe out all life on
duh.
Earth. And it's like if you've taken any kind of science classes and or if you have any kids who have taken them, oh my gosh, the sun's going to explode into a huge, red giant and wipe out the
Like
Earth.
4 million years.
Billions of years from now.
Billion. Whatever. Close enough.
So, but what they're actually talking about is some of the solar flares that are coming off. And there's a nice kind of fun picture here with where you can see one of the huge flares coming off on the side there. And it is talking about the idea that we're in a high sunspot activity zone right now in these cycles. And the larger the sunspots, the more the flares, and the largest sunspots give out bigger flares. And Autumn, you're one of the few people out there who knows a lot more about this than me. So, what do you think? Do you think we're going to be all dying in a?
No, no,
Good, thank
we're
you.
not.
I'll take your
We're
word
not.
for it.
Um, there might be some disruption in cell signal. I mean, it's like we've had major sunspot eruptions before. There can be some issues with communication satellites and things like that. Like I just pulled up about the massive solar superstorm in 1859 that caused telegraph um,
Oh yeah, yeah. The Victorian
communications
internet.
to
Yep,
fail,
wiped it
you
out.
know, and that is nothing like what we have now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm assuming this is nowhere near the same category. What we're experiencing now is nowhere near the same as what they experienced then.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I'm reading here.
I got the
It was
video up of the one that
yeah,
just launched out of the sun the other day,
yeah.
and
So
it's just
this one was a solar flare with the energy of 10 billion with a B atomic bombs. That would fry like so much crap. Like
yeah, like everything.
done.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, no. I mean, there, like I said, maybe some fuzziness, but
There's
again,
yeah,
no need to panic.
yay,
This is
because
so dramatic. Here comes the sun to end civilization.
I'm just like, okay,
We could do it
so
ourselves long before the sun
we,
even gets around to it. So settle
yeah.
down. Settle down.
So the whole concept here, in case you haven't got onto all this, is with solar flares, all this extra radiation hitting the planet, by the way, that's why we have the northern lights and the southern lights, because the aurora borealis is because that's solar radiation hitting the upper atmosphere and bouncing around up in the upper atmosphere and going around in the magnetic sphere. So there's all this stuff where you will be getting this kind of things again and again. And as always, we're going to put all these links into the page for you. I love this one illustration here. It's like, let's just,
What is that?
I know, let's ignore all sorts of perspective and
We're that close.
yeah.
All right now.
But so basically, again, if you see something out there in the news,
we're fine.
Pay attention, because if all of a sudden you don't have cell service for a short time, it could be that. Also,
drop calls, crap like that. You'll be fine.
I do want to point out, this doesn't happen during the day. This can happen during the night too. This can happen at any point.
What do you mean it doesn't happen during the day?
It's not just something you only have to worry about during the day.
Out.
Yes, exactly. Please. So that there is the craziest idea. So we're in they are not sure how far into the cycle we still have to go to get out of it, but we're definitely have at least another 5 or 6 years of this. So this is just the beginning of, because we're right in the heart of it now. So,
and if you haven't noticed any issues, you're probably not going to.
Right. Until the big flare hits the space station, and then we're all going to be.
Yeah. It's going to bring me back to the Kessler.
Yeah, I know. I
talked about when the last time I hosted.
Yes.
And all sorts of random crazy space
you start breaking up space debris, and it becomes no, let's not go back to that one. That's a bad story. We want to be happy stories today. We're happy stories.
No, that's not happy. Look, I read through these articles. No.
They're happy. They're mostly happy.
Okay.
I believe.
What I did look, sadly,
tell me,
the Bueller Planetarium is not open right now. That's over on the central campus of Broward College.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a student there, like 20 years ago, the planetarium was open, but they would also have days and nights where they would bring out the telescopes from the astronomy department and from the planetarium. And particularly during the day, they would put the filters on the telescopes and you could observe the sun. That was part of our classes. Yeah. We had to go and do sun observations. Obviously, you never want to point a telescope at the sun if you do not have a filter on it. You do not want to look through it. It will blind you. Bad idea. But if you do have the filter on the specific sun filter on your telescope, it's some pretty cool views. You can actually chart the sunspots, watch them move, watch them grow, and it's pretty cool. But unfortunately, they're closed right now still. They still haven't reopened.
But out at
Markham. They don't do daytime observations at Markham Park, unfortunately. I believe Friday and Saturday nights, the South Florida Amateur Astronomers Association has the Fox Observatory. And so here in Broward County, if you go on 84 West to Markham Park, it's not too far off the entrance, and it is so dark out there that you can see some really fancy stuff, and they have some really good telescopes, and sometimes the members will bring their own massive telescopes out, and it's some pretty good viewing.
That's amazing.
The best, in my opinion, the best viewing is usually when it's cold. So the sky tends to be a little clearer, and that's usually like in the November to February time zone, and there's just better stuff up that you can see.
But, although there is that whole planetary conjunction thing going on out there right now.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that you can see with the naked eye, or even really good binoculars. Mercury is going to be particularly hard for us to see. It always is, because it's down pretty low. So unless you're up high, it's going to be pretty difficult to see all 5. So That's the astronomy bit.
That's very cool. That's nice. No, that's excellent, excellent. I did my astronomy lab at Bueller Planetarium long before you were there. Uh, it was fun. I have a blast. It was great.
It
And
was
yes,
good.
taking the telescopes out. But yeah, go ahead and read these articles and make up your own mind about just how dangerous you think it is. It's much more about, you'll discover that it's much more about the infrastructure in the United States in particular than it is about the sun, about why it's dangerous. So yeah, let's
It's not
take care of these things.
actually, yes, it's a piece, the solar flare in and of itself, sure. The sun itself, not so much. It's more our lack of safeguarding our infrastructure.
Yeah.
That's the end of civilization, not it doesn't have to be a solar flare to take it down, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Just a bad day. Just a bad day. But if we're all going to be stuck inside, we're all going to be doing the metaverse thing, right? Ha.
Sure, okay.
So I found this article, and so I had to go back to the original press release for this today. So Lowe's is releasing virtual furniture and appliances for you to use in the metaverse. My first instinct as I was reading through this, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of nice. Huh? That's interesting, different. This whole NFT thing is stupid, but that's okay. We're going to ignore we're ignoring the NFT thing because we're just going to bypass that whole thing. But I was like, this is kind of interesting. And then they're saying, and starting today, they will be free. And I'm like,
But it's only while supplies last. Really?
yeah, these are digital assets, copy and paste. I mean, it's so while it's a very cool thing, and I like the idea, and the tagline that I shared with Autumn when I shared the story was, how long is the warranty on my virtual dishwasher? We already have been doing this all along. Like Broward County Libraries has been doing it. So we did our stuff up on Sketchfab. Out here with showing off some of the different things. So you can do art on your wall, art on for your metaverse walls, or any of your augmented reality stuff. We've got all these pieces up and ready for you to be doing. We've had them up and running. So
But it's not a dishwasher.
I'd rather have a cool piece of art on my wall. I'd rather hang this mask on my wall than
yeah, flipping back and forth there. That's freaking out, man.
Oh yeah, because you can rotate them. This is the whole idea of having them in augmented reality.
I mean, the pages are like blinking. It's weird.
This is not showing up for you where I'm moving the mask around?
No, it's just making the pages, the tabs go back and forth. It's not moving a mask at all.
On mine, it is moving. Okay,
please stop.
I'm stopped. I have stopped.
That could be considered a flash trigger. So
yeah, nope. Sorry.
No, I'm just.
We'll put the link in the notes. We'll put the link on the notes for you to come there and download these free object with no restrictions because it's from the library. We do this for you, and you get to play with it. I know you're not a big person in the metaverse idea because you're not into the whole virtual reality, augmented reality things as much. What do you think about this virtual art, though? This idea of taking and having something that you can put, I'm not talking NFTs, I'm talking something like what we have up on Sketchfab, where you can download this. And so when you hold up your phone and you look at the wall, there's a new piece of art on the wall.
For me personally, I don't care. I mean, I don't have art on my walls at home anyway, not actual physical art. So again, for me personally, okay. I mean, it's neat to show somebody once or twice, and then I'm never going to use it again. For some people, it could be like, oh my God, check this out. It's totally cool. And that's great. That's wonderful. And I recommend that everybody try it. Yeah. So
what do you think the difference is between this and one of those digital picture frames?
I don't have one of those either.
But the idea of showing just pictures of your, instead of having, printing out a picture from your travels and putting it up on the wall. Because I've seen some of your stuff from Italy is really well done. You've got some nice
Yeah,
pictures.
yeah, but I have none of those are printed out and hung anywhere either. You know, I more or less take pictures pretty much for social media. I was there.
Hmm.
I remember. So I don't need the pictures,
Gotcha.
you know? But that again, that's just me.
And I'm not a picture person at all. I tend to put away the phone, put away the camera, and just absorb while I'm there.
Yeah, I'd rather
My
be in the
wife is very
moment.
much a picture person.
We need pictures of I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not going to go
no.
back and look at them. So
Exactly. Exactly. That's like the people at Disney who are always holding up their phones during fireworks. It's like you're never going to watch it again. You're
yeah,
literally never going to watch it again. Besides, they've got all the great streaming stuff with perfect views. You just go to YouTube, man. It's all there. Whatever. But this whole back to Lowe's with
yeah, tell me.
the furniture and the whatever. So I saw earlier this week that IKEA has a thing where you can try furniture out. Most places do, like Amazon does and
Yep,
whatever,
they have those
where
apps.
you
Yep.
can try out IKEA furniture in your house. Well, the funny thing is when you do it, it replaces all of your current furniture with IKEA furniture.
Mhm.
Not just the piece that you're looking to try out, everything. They're
Yeah.
like, nope, it's just all going to be IKEA stuff now.
Yep, here you go.
Guess what? Here's your brand new living room for $50. No, their stuff's more expensive than that, but
Way
still.
more expensive than that. It's been a long time since you've been in IKEA. If you think they're
Look,
still at the
look.
$50 price point,
I spent $25 on a coffee table that I have had for
million years. I know.
at least 10 to 15 years. So
Yeah, they
whatever.
do. They make good stuff. I'm not in disagreement with it. We
So
have one last story to cover, which is kind of a weird one.
yeah, yeah, it is.
So Amazon
No.
yesterday
Mm-mm.
released an idea that you could
Terrible idea.
change the voice on your Echo devices. I'm not going to say her name, and it could you could replace it with the voice of a loved one. And the example they use here is, your one of your children could say, "Hey, I want grandma to finish reading the story," and so grandma's voice comes out of your Echo device and can reads the story and does a thing. This is not the normal interaction stuff in theory.
I don't know.
Tell me, what are your misgivings about this?
Okay, first of all, it's like in the article it says while it could ostensibly be used to replicate any voice, Prasad suggested it could be used to help memorialize a deceased family member. That's creepy. It's creepy. No.
I'm I'm of the opinion that I would not be wanting to use this for a deceased relative. I'm in
Mm-mm.
agreement with you. And also, by the way, all you need is 90 seconds worth of them talking, and it can recreate all of the rest of the syllables and cadence and everything that it needs to be able to make it supposedly a realistic voice.
What could possibly go wrong?
There we go. Thank you very much. Because the first thing that I thought about with this was AirTags. And because some tech geeks got into and made this really cool thing that, hey, this is going to help me with this, and they don't consider any other possible circumstances. Like, take your ex-boyfriend's voice message that he left you, and now you can recreate it, and here's a new voice that you can use to make it say anything you want on
Mm-hmm.
an Echo device. And I can now have a recording of him saying just about anything.
Use it to torment people. I mean, come on. There's all sorts of horrible things. I mean, one of the quotes, while AI can't eliminate that pain of loss, it can definitely make the memories last. No, it's going to keep people from healing. Is what it does. They're not looking at the psychological ramifications of what having grandma's voice around 20 years after she's dead is going to do to the other family members. I mean, yeah, it could
What's
be
Fred
nice.
Astaire dancing going to be like? Yeah,
It could be
yeah.
nice for a while, but trust me, I mean, I don't have any recordings of my grandmother. I wouldn't want her on an Amazon device, but I can clearly hear her voice in my head. I remember exactly what she sounds like. I don't need that. I know not everybody has that kind of
This is an
situation,
interesting one because
but
there's a pretty sharp divide between people who think, oh, this is really nice because it's the same people who want to save the last voice message that their father left on their phone before he died or something like
that's
that.
that's different because of context,
Did you want
right?
to hear his voice again?
No.
I know this. I'm
No, I mean, I know people who still have those messages from a deceased loved one, and it's not necessarily that they listen to them because they don't. It's just knowing that a small piece of them is still there,
mhm.
right? It's not about actually hearing it. It's just knowing that they're still there.
I like having a photograph of that person tucked away in a box that you never pull out and look at.
But you don't need to because you know it's there.
Yeah,
So,
I hear you. I think this is going to be one that
excuse me.
there's going to be a lot of conversations about this. And this thing just happened yesterday. It is not
Yeah.
out for the public to use yet, but this is the kind of thing that Amazon in the past Amazon has rolled out their updates to their devices in a similar path where we get an announcement at this conference and then later on in the fall those things quietly roll out to everybody on their devices and then they make a
So,
big announcement a week or two later about it.
this just brought back for the people who are watching who are Doctor Who fans. This just brings back terrible memories of the whole 10th Doctor storyline with the Silence in the Library, where these little shadow creatures, they live in the shadows, they live in libraries because they were, it doesn't matter. So they live in the shadows and they eat people. There's your bases, right? And they're in spacesuits, yeah? And the person's voice still comes out of the spacesuit after they're dead.
Okay, then.
But after a while, the signal starts to degrade, so they just get stuck on a few words. And they just repeat those few words over and over. And I know at least two people. I know at least two people who would use this kind of thing for those horrible purposes.
Okay, so
Like they made
on
who turned
that
out the
note,
lights, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
on that note, I think we have to determine that we are both fairly negative on this one, and
Yeah, it's terrible. Don't do it.
we're going to be seeing lots of pranks or worse
Oh,
from this
so
pulled
many
off.
pranks.
Yeah.
So many pranks.
So tell us about what's coming up at Maine Library for the summer. Remember,
So,
everybody, Summer at Your Library still going through August.
yes,
We're
indeed.
already 25% of the way through, though. You got to go in and register. What have you got going on, Autumn?
So we have a whole bunch of stuff going on. Um, we have our usual, as you see there, we have our take and makes where you can come in twice a month. Beginning of the month, in the middle of the month, we have brand new take and makes for you to come and get. But two big programs that are coming up in a couple of weeks. The first is going to be, there we go. The first is going to be on Tuesday, July 12th at 10:30 a.m. Um, I'm going to slaughter that, so I'm not even going to try. It's presented by the Murakami Museum. It is a traditional Japanese artwork program. Um, we would prefer that you register for them. So please go to the website as you see here. So you're going to go to broward.org/library, click on events, and look for the main library on Tuesday, July 12th, and register for the event. So we only have a certain amount of materials, so you'll need to make sure your name is on
Make
the
sure
list.
you get a space.
Absolutely. And then that Saturday, July 16th at 2 p.m., we have a wonderful show from the Miami Children's Museum called the Lost Pirates Show. Again, we need people to register because we are in a room that can only accommodate so many people. So if we have a bunch of people just show up, you might get in, you might not. Who knows? It's hard to say. But if your name is on the list, then you'll get in. And
Get the VIP treatment. Get your name on the list.
Exactly. And I will be the bouncer at the door. If your name is not on that list and we are full, you are not getting in. So make sure your name is on the list. So they're going to be presenting a wonderful show. There's some really funny names for the pirate Beard, Captain Beard. I mean, there's just some really funny names going on in the pirate show, and it's a wonderful show that's going to be here at the main library in downtown Fort Lauderdale. As always, you can come in on Thursdays for our baby lap sit at 10:30 and our preschool story time at 11:30, or you can come for music and movement, which I do on Friday mornings at 10:30. So
some of those have been getting for
ridiculous.
anyone who hasn't been back, I know.
Last Friday,
if you haven't been to main library recently, I mean, the stroller parking, we're double parked again. Yeah, we're double parked on the stroller parking. It is. We have the whole parking lot on the second floor just for strollers, and we're going to need to find new space for it. It's crazy.
Double decker. No, we're not doing that. We're not.
Let's come up with it.
I can just see building services having a stroke, and they're like, no. Go ahead.
Valets? I'm thinking valet.
Valets.
Yeah, we'll do valet for the stroller parking.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I can imagine the little 4-year-olds handing you over a valet ticket for their stroller.
Like I told my staff, I'm going to tell everybody about this. Like the little boy that had a mortgage today. So we've got 5-year-olds with mortgages. We've got 4-year-old valets. I mean, whatever. It's fine.
It's going to be fun down in main library, folks. You got to come see it. Thank you so much, Miss Autumn, for being here.
You're welcome.
I'm going to toss up our final slide again here. As always, if there's a favorite librarian or library you'd like to see featured on the show one week, Creation Station at broward.org comes right to us. Stay safe, everybody. We'll see you next week.